Welcome into high school sports on the Hartford Cable Network. As you can see, we are not at a basketball game. We are not at a wrestling meet. We are at a swimming tournament. It's the Hartford County Boys Swimming Tournament, the second night of the 2 nights of championships. Last night they had the girls' championships, which were won by C. Milton Wright handily. The C. Milton Wright Mustangs continuing their dominance in the women's division. Tonight it's the boys. We're in the second event of the 11 events that will occur. This is the boys 50-yard, or I should say the boys 200-yard freestyle. It's 4 trips up and 4 trips back. C. Milton Wright, you'll notice those with the horseshoe on their helmet. The Mustangs, easy to tell. This is one of the early heats that we're seeing now. I believe this is heat number 1, perhaps heat number 2. We are going to be taping and showing you heats 3, 4, and 5. So those are the top ranked heats. In other words, the pre-qualifying. They come in the 5th group in this particular, the first heat, I should say the 5th heat in this particular event. They are the fastest. Isaiah Oramath I'm sorry, I'll try that name one more time. Izora Honarath is the top seed in this particular 50-yard or 200-yard freestyle event. There you see one of the coaches ushering their team on. That's the Joppatown coach. Very enthusiastic, a very small team, only 12 swimmers, I should say, on that team, but they are certainly trying hard. I believe that was heat number 1. Heat number 2 now getting ready to start. Again, it is the freestyle event. 11 events to occur. Last night we talked about the C. Milton Wright girls, 345 points they accumulated, 294 for Bel Air, 282 for North Hartford, and 259 for Patterson Mill. Now keep that in mind. Patterson Mill 86 points behind. They are the odds-on favorite to win the boys championship here tonight. Will they be able to accumulate 86 points, enough to catch C. Milton Wright? If they do, C. Milton Wright has won 9 years in a row in the combined boys and girls. Look at C. Milton Wright a little deeper. They have 185 wins in dual meets in a row without a loss. That goes all the way back to 2008. The girls have won 2 state championships in 2012 and 2014. The boys 7 consecutive county championships. The girls 9 consecutive county championships. That ended last year when the girls finished 3rd, but the boys did well enough to be able to pull the girls' scores up, and they won their 9th straight combined title last year. Did C. Milton Wright Mustangs, coached by Debbie King and Alan Hurlinger. Again, just a dynasty. This was the year that folks thought that C. Milton Wright might not win the championship because they had so many seniors graduate last year. But they really came on with a young group of kids. We'll be talking to Kaylee Blair, a freshman, Hannah Chan, also a freshman, Cassidy Hare, a sophomore, and Hannah Chan, the freshman we mentioned, along with Kaylee Blair, also a freshman. These young swimmers came along and last night just demonstrated their prowess by being able to win that big margin in the girls' event. So we are at Magnolia Middle School. It is the Hartford County Swimming Championships, and we have an addition this year. Elkton from Cecil County is joining the parade, so the Elkton swimmers will be swimming tonight as well. Matter of fact, last night, Elizabeth Pennington, a freshman from Elkton, won the 100-yard backstroke in a time of 102.48. So the Cecil County, which now has adopted swimming over the last couple of years, and they're now working their way to be a full partner here in the UPBAC championships. Right now it is still the Hartford County Championship, so that'll be a couple of years before Elkton and the rest of Cecil County is able to get themselves totally, if you will, in the swim. So again, we're watching the early heats of the 200-yard freestyle, the boys division. Working our way up now to heat 3 of the 5 heats. Heat 3 will have Josh Arson from Edgewood, Thomas Gorsuch from Falston, Sean Lipscomb from Patterson Mill, Liam Van Sickle from C. Milton Wright, Cameron Michalak from Elkton, and from Bel Air, Chase Pullen in lanes 1 through 6. Lane 1, the closest lane to you. Lane 6, the furthest lane. The top seeded swimmers will be swimming in the middle, like in lane 3, for instance, 3, 4, and 5, 3 being the top swimmer, 4 and 5 being the second and third qualifiers. This is heat 3 of the 200-yard freestyle in the boys championship. Again, Josh Hartson, Thomas Gorsuch, Sean Lipscomb, Liam Van Sickle, Cameron Michalak, and Chase Pullen in lanes 1 through 6. Josh Arson from Edgewood, Thomas Gorsuch from Falston, Patterson Mills, Sean Lipscomb, Liam Van Sickle from Seamoulton Wright Elktons, Cameron Michalak, and Chase Pullen in lane 6 from Bel Air. Again, points are accumulated not only in the winners, but going all the way down to several places. So the point totals will determine which team wins. So yes, you get a lot of points for winning number 1, usually 20 points. Depending on the relays, you get a few more points than that. But you also, it extends down into the lower heats or the slower heats, so that these swimmers, what they do is going to be very important as well. Again, this being the 200-yard freestyle, the pool is 25 yards long. So it's 4 times up and 4 times back. The freestyle is, you're very familiar, most of you who are swimmers realize that it is the, if you want to say, the most familiar stroke. The breaststroke, the backstroke, the butterfly, those the more difficult perhaps to learn and to perfect. Young swimmer in the very middle. Looks like he is out with the lead. That's lane 3. My program says it's Sean Lipscomb in lane 3. Although it appears that that's a Haverty Grace swimming. So this could be lane 4. This could be, I should say, heat 4. This could be Zach Orzowitz. We apologize that we came on the air just a little bit late, so we're catching up here. We missed the first event of the night. That was the boys 200-yard medley relay. I think maybe that was heat 4 of the 5 heats. If so, Zach Orzowitz of Haverty Grace, who qualified at 2.0826, looks like that he did win that particular heat. Zach Orzowitz from Edgewood High School. Excuse me, from Haverty Grace High School. This, I believe, is the heat 5, the fastest of the heats. Israel Ornerath, the top seed from Patterson Mill, the sophomore, finishing at 1:51.16 to qualify. If I'm correct, that would be Isra Ornerath. Yes, in the middle at lane 3. Looks like lane 2 right now, Tanner Russell from North Hartford, if we have our right heat, appears to be in the lead. Lanes 2 and lanes 3. Tanner Russell, lane 2. Is Sarah Ornerath in lane 3. 2 more times up and back. This, I believe, is the finals, the top heat of the 200-yard freestyle. Coming in. And now this is the last time up and the last time back. I believe that is Sarah Ornerath in lane 3, leading the pack, qualified at 1:51.16, about 3 seconds faster than Joseph Mazante, who is in lane 4. Ornerath coming in, it looks like that he will win this heat and perhaps have the top. Yeah, he touches first by at least 3 seconds. So Ornerath, the top seed, fulfills that seeding by winning the 200-yard freestyle. We have the results from the first event that occurred. That was the 200-yard medley relay. Seamoulton Wright won that. Kyle Rutherford, Jaden Slotnick, Mason Youngblood, and Travis Ruse picked up 40 points for their team. So the Mustangs extending the lead, 3:45. Remember, we told you that's the point total. Now it looks like we're moving right into event 3. These are the slower heats of the 200-yard individual medley. starting as you see with the breaststroke. We'll go away just a minute. We'll come back and we'll catch up on the last two, the faster heats 3 and heats 4 of the 200-yard individual medley. We'll be right back. We're back with you at Magnolia Middle School. We're watching now heats 3 and 4. These are the faster heats of the 200-yard individual medley. So individual medley means that the swimmers swim all 4 strokes, the backstroke, the breaststroke, the butterfly, and the freestyle. In this heat 3, Ashton Bierman, junior from Falston, is in lane 1. Kobe Bracken in lane 2, a senior from Falston. Nathan Zerwick, a junior from Falston, is in lane 3. Alex Trin in lane 4. Ben Ellenbecker in lane 5. And Andrew No from Aberdeen, and Ellenbecker from Hartford Tech in lanes 5 and 6. Starting off with the breaststroke. Again, this is a 200-yard IM. So each of the 4 strokes, they have to be proficient in all 4. Obviously, in most cases, somebody is going to be really good in one particular stroke and not so good in the other. The idea is to be as good as you can be, to be as consistent as you can, to be able to end up being the winner. This is the breaststroke. Bierman, Bracken, Zerwick, Trin, Ellenbecker, and No in lanes 1 through 6. And now going into the backstroke. One time up, one time back. The top seed in this particular event, Nathan Zerwick, 2:22.10. He's in lane 3. Zerwick from Falston. The top seed is Nolan Clancy from Elkton. He'll be swimming in the next heat. Backstroke to be followed by the breaststroke, and then comes the freestyle. Very close here, as you can see. Perhaps it looks like lane 3 touching first, and that's to be expected. Again, the top seed coming in, Nathan Zerwick. By the way, the county record, 154.59. Mason Young set that. Mason Young last year in 2018. Here the breaststroke, probably the most difficult looking stroke, if you will. I'm told that, if you could imitate a frog, perhaps, this would be the closest you could think of how this works. And now the last of the 4 strokes, the freestyle. Nathan, if I'm pronouncing your last name incorrectly, I apologize. Surowiec. Looks like he has just a bit of a lead over Alex Trin in lane 4. Remember, you accumulate points, and we'll talk about those points in just a minute. Lane 3, Zerwick. He'll touch first, and so he will win that heat, and his time will be recorded. Now, of course, in heat 4, his time could be faster than, let's say, some of the people swimming in that heat 4, in which case he would rank wherever his time puts him. So just because you're in one of the slower heats, if you will. There you see Falston's Nathan Zerwick. Coming up then will be heat 4 in the finals of the 200-yard individual medley. Nolan Clancy, we mentioned, will be in the middle lane, lane 3, the fastest seed at 2:01.80 coming in. County record of 154.59. So it's Clancy in lane 3. Lane 4, Jack Leary, the second seed from Patterson Mill. Noah Harley in lane 2. In lane 1 is Nathan Roby. Lane 5 is Jaden Slotnick. And in lane 6 is Mason Youngblood. Youngblood from C. Milton, Slotnick from C. Milton Wright, Harley from Patterson Mill, and Nathan Roby from North Hartford. Again, the first stroke, as you see, the butterfly. Just a minute while they're finishing up this particular stroke. The first heat, first event, the 200-yard medley relay, won by C. Milton Wright. They picked up 40 points. Kyle Rutherford, Jason Slotnick, Mason Youngblood, and Travis Ruse winning for C. Milton. Coming in second was the Hartford Tech Cobras. So C. Milton Wright added 40 points to their total that they had from last night, the girls' event. Backstroke, as you see. Now switching into, again, that beautiful, if you will, unusual looking breaststroke. It appears that lane 3, Nolan Clancy from Elkton, the pre-race favorite based on his seeding, is leading by just a skinch over Jack Leary from Patterson Mill. They'll touch and then they'll go for the freestyle, and that's where they'll finish it up. Clancy in lane 3, Leary in lane 4. Leary from Patterson Mill, Clancy from Elkton. And here they go, the final 25 yards. Clancy, Leary. Clancy leading by a body length, and it looks like that Nolan Clancy from Elkton, a senior, will win. The Elkton Golden Elks have a championship. Again, that's figuring that their times are faster than the previous heat, which I believe it probably was. We'll get some official times here in just a moment. Jack Leary finishing second from Patterson Mill. Noah Harley looks like he may have finished third, also from Patterson Mill. Speaking of Patterson Mill, they did win the second event. That was the 200-yard freestyle. Isra Honorath from Patterson Mill, the sophomore, won in a finals time of 1:49.76, trimming 2 seconds off his seed time. Still about 4 seconds off the county record, picking up 20 points for his team. Joseph Masanti, sophomore from Seymourton Wright, picked up 17 points by finishing second, and Christopher Garvin from Hartford Tech, a senior, finished third. He picked up 16 points for his team. So after 2 events, Seymourton Wright leading the boys division 64 points to 62 for Patterson Mill. And now you're seeing the boys 50-yard freestyle, one time up, one time back. We're going to see all 7 heats. Jafael Bonterone from Edgewood, the senior, is on the nearest to you in lane 2. Damian Johnson from Joppatown is in lane 3. And Josh Cook is from Edgewood. He's in lane 4. Again, this is over as quick as it starts, it seems. County record 21-21 set by Ryan Baldino last year. That again is the slower of the qualifying of the 7 heats. Heat 2 will have Cameron Anthony in lane 1 from Edgewood, Aiden Hoy from North Hartford in lane 2, Hartford Tech's freshman Jeff Seba in lane 3, Todd Orzek, freshman from Seymourton Wright, is in lane 4, Timothy Barbosa, sophomore from Aberdeen, in lane 5, and Charles, Mbuthia, Mabuthia from Joppatown, is in lane 6. So they're all, again, Jeff Sefa in the middle. He's the top qualifier in this particular heat. Heat 2 of 7 in the 50-yard freestyle, the 4th event here tonight from the boys championship out of Magnolia Middle School. Looks like lane 4, Todd Orzek, is going to touch first. Orzek out of Seymourton Wright. There you see him. Todd Orzek, the freshman from Seymourton Wright. That'll bring us then to heat 3 of the 7 heats. Matt Scazia, freshman from Hartford Tech, I should say, in lane 1. Ted Rush in lane 2 from North Hartford, also a freshman. Senior from Bel Air is Nathaniel Riz. He's from Bel Air. Lane 4 is Ryan Frist. He's from Aberdeen, a sophomore. Bobby Wills, freshman from Havre de Grace, lane 5. And lane 6, the farthest lane from you, is Michael Hoff. He's from Havre de Grace, a sophomore. Appears at lane 3, Nathaniel Risks, H-R-I-C-Z. The senior from Bel Air will win this particular heat. Again, remember they record the times, and the time is how you rank when you go in the finals of who won what. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be in the fastest heat to finish first. Obviously, it normally happens that way. Now we're up to heat 4. Chance Bresna from Havre de Grace, sophomore. Andrew Nicholas from Falston, a senior. Jacob Barson from Falston, actually from Bel Air, a freshman. Ryan Collins, a freshman out of North Hartford. Jonathan Link is from Havre de Grace, a senior. And Jack Olson, a sophomore from Patterson Mill. Lanes 1 through lane 6. It looks like lane 6 is Michael Hoff doing very well out of Havre de Grace. Or at least that's the way I have it here, although he doesn't appear to have the Havre de Grace cap on, but that's the way this particular heat was mentioned. Actually, right, yeah, that was Jack Olson from Patterson Mill. This will bring up heat 5 now. Heat 5 has Elijah Greer in lane 1. Austin Carafof from Elkton is in lane 2, a sophomore. Nick Danilis from North Hartford. Luke Bedarski from Hartford Tech, a freshman. Cameron Spaeth, a senior from Elkton. And Dan Van Sickle from Siebelton Wright is in lane 6. Danilzik in lane 3 appears to be winning. Nope, it looks like lane 5 instead. Cameron Spaeth. Cameron Spaeth will touch first. Spaeth in lane 5 from Elkton. That'll bring us then quickly to heat 6 of the 7 heats. Vatsilo Lomas, Sean Lipscomb, Caden Harthen, Ben Grasser, Kirsten O'Connor, and Sam Cohen from lanes 1 through 6. Lomas is from Patterson Mill. He's a senior. Freshman Lipscomb is from Patterson Mill. He is, as I said, a freshman. Senior from Elkton is Caden Harton. Ben Grasser, a sophomore from Falston. Kiernan O'Connor from Aberdeen, a sophomore. And Bel Air's Sean Cohen, lanes 1 through 6. Lane 3, in the lead, Caden Harton from Elkton. And it looks like he will win by just touching first. Caden Harden, he is the first finisher in heat 6. And now we come to the fastest of the heats, heat 7. Kyle Rutherford from Siebelton Wright is ranked first. He's in lane 3, 22:47 his qualifying time. He's a senior. Matt Weaver from Bel Air is in lane 1. Mason Young in lane 2 from Hartford Tech. Lane 3, Alan Newen from Patterson Mill. Lane 5 is Evan English from Falston, senior, and Thomas Cowan is in lane 6 from a junior from Siebelton Wright. Rutherford in the middle lane, the top qualifier at 22:47. Lane 4, though, looks like Newen, it's going to be close, and it looks like unofficially Newen may have touched first from Patterson Mill. That's a big one because Newen from Patterson Mill and Rutherford from C. Milton. We've told you that the Patterson Mill young men have to pick up 86 points to be able to overtake the lead that the girls from Siebelton Wright gave them in winning last night. Patterson Mill finishing 4th. We have the results in the boys 200-yard individual medley. Nolan Clancy, as we thought, from Elkton, the senior, finished in a 2:01.44, barely eclipsing his 2:01.80 seed time. Picked up 20 points for Elkton. Jack Leary from Patterson Mill and Noah Harley from Patterson Mill finished 2nd and 3rd. And then Jaden Slotnick from Siebelton Wright finished 4th. So 20 points picked up for Elkton. Leary and Noah Harley. Jack Leary and Noah Harley pick up 17 and 16 points respectively for Patterson Mill. So the scores. Patterson Mill with 95 and Siebelton Wright with 92 in the boys' meet so far. Falston is in 3rd with 77 and Bel Air is 4th at 58. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the boys' 100-yard butterfly in just a moment. This is now. You're watching now the butterfly finals. This is the boys 100-yard butterfly. Trying to figure out exactly which heat we're on. There are a total of 4 heats in this particular event. The top seed is Kyle Rutherford. Kyle Rutherford from C. Milton Wright. See if we can figure out. It looks like the 3rd lane is the winner in this particular heat. Let's see. He's got the Huskies cap on. So no, I can't hazard a guess on that. I'll try to pick it up. We are in the boys 100-yard butterfly finals. Have some results to give you, some updated results. Okay, yeah, I see what's happening now. We were able to catch up with you just on the last heat of that particular event. That was the 100-yard butterfly. And Kyle Rutherford from C. Milton Wright was in the 4th lane. Jack Leary, a senior at Patterson Mill. That's the young man who won that race, who you saw briefly taking his cap off. At 55.06, Jack Leary is the champion. And that's very significant. We're looking at where we are right now. After the boys 50-yard freestyle event, that was won by Alan Newen from Patterson Mill at 22.76, picked up 20 points for his team. C. Milton Wright senior Kyle Rutherford finished 2nd with 17 points. So right now, after event 7, that's the boys 50-yard freestyle, Patterson Mill had a 126. That's what their total is at this point. C. Milton Wright is in 2nd with 123. Now, that means that Patterson Mill is winning at this point the boys championship. But remember, C. Milton Wright piled up a total of, let's see here, they had a lead over Patterson Mill of 86 points after the girls event, which occurred again last night. Yeah, they had 345 points, did C. Milton Wright. Bel Air 294, North Hartford 282, and Patterson Mill 259. So Patterson Mill would need to win by 86 points in order to tie C. Milton Wright for this championship. The Mustangs, who have won 9 straight county championships. Again, they've won 7 boys consecutive championships, 9 girls consecutive championships until last year when the girls finished 3rd. This C. Milton Wright team, 185 dual meet wins without a loss, all the way back to 2008. Debbie King and Alan Herlinger, of course, the coaches of that team. Right now you're watching the slower heats. This is the boys 100-yard freestyle. There are 7 heats. We'll be doing the final 4 heats for you. Right now we're on heat number 2. So we'll just hang with this one if it's okay with Tim in the booth. This is the heat 2 of 7. According to my score sheet, Will Arminger is in lane 2 from North Hartford. Matt Weir from North Hartford is in lane 3. Cameron Anthony in lane 4 from Edgewood. And in lane 5, it's Zephyrin Madison. He's from Havre de Grace. So again, you're watching the boys 100-yard freestyle. This is heat 2 of 7. Amager, Weir, Anthony, and Madison. That's from lanes 2 through lanes 5. Touching first is Edgewood's Cameron Anthony. Cameron, who had a 1:18.85 qualifying time. Ryan Boldino holds the county record at 46.77, that established last year. Now we're coming up to heat 3 of the 7. Michael Hoff will be in lane 1. He's from Havre de Grace, a sophomore. Ryan Miller, a sophomore from Hartford Tech. Connor Howells is from Havre de Grace, a sophomore, in lane 3. David Pugh is in lane 4, freshman from Elkton. Lane 5 is Akeem Lawrence. He's a senior at Aberdeen. And Christian Houck from Hartford Tech is in lane 6, a freshman from Hartford Tech. Connor Howells, the top seed among this particular group. He is in lane 3. Looks like that he is in the lead. And indeed, Howell does touch first. Howes, Howes, 109.41. Again, that's the 100-yard freestyle, 25-yard pull. So twice up and twice back. Coming here to the gun lap. But that's close. It looks like lane 4, actually, David Pugh touches first from Elkton. Connor Howes in lane 3. And in lane 2, Ryan Miller, very close. Again, those scores, those times will all be calculated, and that's how they'll figure in to the leadership board. By the way, we have the results of the 100-yard butterfly. It was Jack Leary winning, senior from Patterson Mill at 53.05. Picked up 20 points for his team. C. Milton Wright's Kyle Rutherford finished second with 17 points, and in third was Eugene Dunca from Aberdeen, 56.55. Now we're up to heat 4 in this 100-yard freestyle. Ted Rush in lane 1 from North Hartford, a freshman. Ben Dutcher from Bel Air, a sophomore in lane 2. Jonathan Link is in lane 3, a senior from Havre de Grace. Evan Kozmachuk from North Hartford, a freshman in lane 4. Lane 5 is Matt Zaskis from Hartford Tech. And Liam Pettis in lane 6 from Aberdeen. Kuzumchak from the freshman from North Hartford at 105.74 has the top seed, but right now it looks like in lane 2, that's Ben Dutcher from Bel Air. Appears to be in the lead at this point. And there you see the coach urging him on. Coming back in lane 4 from North Hartford, that's Evan Kuzmanchuk. And it looks like the winner is, from Bel Air. That's Ben Dutcher in lane 2. And I say winner, just the first finisher in heat 4. His time, of course, will be calculated, and that'll figure where he'll end up being in terms of the finals. Now it's heat 5. Elijah Greer, Jordan Harley, Cameron Michalak, Dan Van Sickle, Austin Karakoff, and David Peter Fountain, lanes 1 through 6. Top seed is Cameron Michalak. He's a sophomore from Elkton in lane 3. Right now it appears that he is off to a slight lead, although lane 4, Dan Van Sickle from C. Milton Wright, now appears to have that just a barely lead as they touch to go up and one time back. Very close heat, and again, the points all matter, so where you finish in terms of your time. Not only can you beat your best time, but that's lanes 2, 3, and 4, just too close to call. Looks like lane 4, Dan Van Sickle from C. Milton Wright, splashing toward the finish. Well, that is close. Van Sickle says, I am the winner of this particular heat. Van Sickle had a 1.0002 qualifying time. Looks like he may have just nosed out Cameron Michalak from Elkton. That's heat 5. Now we're going to heat 6. Ben Grasser, Vasilio Lomas, Nathan Garcia, Christopher Pappas, Travis Ruse, and Matt Schaefer from lanes 1 through lane 6. That's Grasser closest to you, the sophomore from Falston. Lomas from Patterson Mill, Tex Garcia, Pappas from Aberdeen, Ruse from C. Milton Wright, and Schaefer from Falston, lanes 1 through 6. Nathan Garcia from Hartford Tech, 54.80, the top qualifying time. This in heat 6 of 7. He has a brief lead now, it appears. Touches to go up one more time and back. This, the 100-yard freestyle, heat 6 of 7. Now has a healthy lead, does Nathan Garcia. Battling for the finish. And the winner actually in lane 2, that's Vasilio Lomas from Patterson Mill. So Lomas putting on the kick and winning that particular heat. And now here's the fastest heat coming up. Heat 7 of 7. Ian Sauer, for a freshman from Patterson Mill, he's in lane 1. Lane 2 is Matt Weaver from Bel Air, a junior. Alan Newen is in lane 3, top seed from Patterson Mill. Thomas Cowan, a junior from Seymourton Wright, lane 4. Calvin Greer, lane 5, junior Falston. And Bel Air senior Zach Risks, he's in lane 6. Newen in lane 3 from Patterson Mill. Right on his shoulder, Thomas Cowan from Seymourton Wright in lane 4. Newen one more time up and one more time back. If he can maintain that lead, he'll end up being the apparent champion here, winner of the fastest heat. Touches first, makes a nice turn. It's Newen. Newen from Patterson Mill. Appears to be handily winning this boys 100-yard freestyle. Alan Newen, qualifying time of 49:39. 46:77, Ryan Baldino with the county record. There you see a good look at the apparent winner, Alan Newen from Patterson Mill. There's also the 100-yard butterfly, Jack Leary we told you about from Patterson Mill, and Kyle Rutherford from Seymourton Wright finishing 1 and 2. Right now, after that particular event, Patterson Mill leads 161 to 143 for Seymourton Wright. So Patterson Mill picking up steam now. Looks like they're headed toward a boys win. But remember, they have to score 86 points to be able to tie Seymourton Wright in terms of the lead Seymourton Wright had built last night with the girls event. We'll come back with more action here from Magnolia Middle School. It's the 2019 Boys Swimming Championships from Magnolia Middle. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to Magnolia Middle School. You're watching the Harford County Swim Championship 2019. Big battle between Seymourton Wright, who last night won the girls championship. Patterson Mill, who finished 4th actually in the girls championships last night, but they are the odds-on favorite to win the boys championship. The question is, can they make up the difference between the 86 points by which they lost last night? Can they accumulate enough points in the boys meet to be able to overtake Seymourton Wright? Just talked to Debbie King. She confirmed they have won this thing for 10 consecutive years. You talk about the dynasty. I mean, you know, think about a team like the New England Patriots who win the Super Bowl. They've been in the Super Bowl, 9 of the last 18 years? Well, think about winning the championship 10 straight years. That's what Seymourton Wright has done. 7 straight years for the boys, winning the outright county championship. 9 straight years for the girls until last year they lost. They finished actually 3rd. We'll have a chance, we hope, in the next event or so to be able to talk to you about and talk to some of the young ladies who last year started a new streak, or hope I should say they started this year the new streak, and they look to try to match that 9 consecutive years. Right now we're watching the 500-yard freestyle. We're doing 2 of the heats of the boys 500-yard freestyle. Catch up on the scoring here with you in just one moment. This is the event 7 of 11 events tonight, covering heats 3 and heat 4. Top seed in this particular event is Tanner Russell. Tanner Russell out of North Harford High School, a 5:10.23 is his time. Corey Knopp established the record in 2004 and continues to hold that record at 4:37.05. You notice the slower pace, the 500 yards, obviously you have to pace yourself. Lane 3 is Storm Fuller out of Edgewood. He is the top qualifier in this particular heat as you see him now coming towards you. There's a young man telling him what lap he's on. You can see underneath he holds that 5 down to let him know that he's on lap 5. Let's see, Eric, 500 yards. Here's a math question for you. 25 yards per lap. 20 laps. How do you know that? 20 lengths of the pool. What a guy. So 10 up and back, 20 total. Okay, then, if he has 5, that would leave him with 15 left to go. Whew. You know, sometimes I just amaze myself. I'm glad that you confirmed that, though. There you see number 7. That means he's finished 7 laps. The he we're talking about being Storm Fuller from Edgewood. The other competitors in this heat, Kobe Bracken is in lane 1. He's the senior from Falston. Walker Milstead, the freshman from Patterson Mill, is in lane 2. Marshall Steffes is in lane 4, senior from Falston. Alex Maselli, I'm sorry, Alex, in lane 5, junior from Bel Air. Seamote Wright's Michael Fulton is in lane 6. 20 laps, 25 yards per, total of 500 yards freestyle. Just confirming things, Eric. So if we're wrong, somebody will call in since we're streaming live and say wrong. That's why I was a history teacher. I didn't teach math. You can understand why. Talking to Debbie King, the coach at C. Milton Wright, the co-coach, the co-head coach, along with Alan Hurlinger, and she said, you know, that yeah, they lost a lot of seniors last year, but it is a dynasty, and so the kids who watch their older siblings swimming at C. Milton Wright, and maybe even if they don't have a sibling, they watch and they observe and find out how well these people are doing, and it's just something that sort of breeds itself. But the other thing too is that Debbie emphasized that their practices are not fun practices. Well, I'm sure they're fun, but they're very technical. How to make your turns, how to pick up the slightest tenth of a second on this particular stroke. And that's how they have maintained, they, C. Milton Wright, their just prodigious work for all these years. The C. Milton Wright girls winning the state title in 2012 and 2014. Regionals coming up next week on the 16th of February. Aberdeen, C. Milton Wright, and Bel Air will be at Arundel, the Arundel Olympic Swim Center in Annapolis. The other teams will be right back here at Magnolia Middle School on the 16th. That young man you see all by himself is Storm Fuller. Storm out of Edgewood High School, sophomore. Talked to some of the young ladies from C. Milton Wright who were among the champions last night, and some of the young people, and they said, yeah, we've been swimming since we were 3, 4, 5 years old. Swimming year-round since we were 6. So again, like many sports, it's not something you just start and then pick up and become a champion overnight. Also, it also explains how a young person who's a sophomore or a freshman even, there you see lane 17, he's got 3 more to go. As we were saying, you know, you're a freshman, you think, well, gosh, it's going to take me a couple of years to compete. No, I've been swimming all this time. Storm Fuller now. We'll touch here. This is the bell lap. You may have heard the bell go off on our field mics. Storm Fuller will win this easily. And again, win this heat. So he's competing for time. It is the time that he records where he will rank in terms of the next heat. Fuller. Qualifying time of 5:43.83. Not sure exactly what his time is here. Obviously, that's one of the things you want to do, is to better your time. Congratulations to Storm Fuller, who wins this heat, and now finishing in lane 2 is Walker Milstead. And in lane 4, finishing Marshall Steffes. Marshall from Falston and Walker Milstead from Patterson Mill. Milstead a freshman. Steffes a senior. Take a while for the other laps to finish. Lap 6. I should say, yeah, lane 6, Michael Fulton. In lane 1 is Colby Brackham. Now they'll clear the pool, and this will take us to the finals, the final heat, the fastest of the 4 heats. Lane 1 is Jonah Wendell He's out a junior from Patterson Mill. Israel Ornrath, sophomore from Patterson Mill, lane 2. Top seed is Tanner Russell, a senior from North Hartford, 5:10.23 his qualifying time. Joseph Musanti is in lane 4. He's a sophomore from C. Milton Wright. Christopher Garvin from Hartford Tech, a senior. And then Jake Harris, lane 6, a sophomore from Bel Air. Again, 20 laps. 100-yard boys freestyle, Alan Newen from Patterson Mill, the winner. A time of 49.24, bettering his seed time of 49.39. Picked up 20 points for his team. Bel Air's Matt Weaver, second, 51.28. Picked up 17 points for his team. And C. Milton Wright's Thomas Callan, senior from C. Milton Wright, or actually a junior, 51.59. He finished third and picked up 16 points for his team. By the way, we were told that they only qualify, that is, you can only record 2 of your top swimmers in terms of points. That means if you have somebody who finished first and somebody who finished 4th, if you finished 5th, you don't get your points counted. So it extends the number of teams that are able to score points. It does make it a little bit more complicated in the scoring system. Speaking of scoring, men's ranking through event 13. This is through the 100-yard freestyle. Patterson Mill leading at 193, C. Milton Wright at 170. Remember, we said Patterson Mill has to pick up 86 points to overcome C. Milton Wright and knock them off their throne of having won 10 straight combined girls and boys championships. Right now they're leading by just 23 points, and I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's going to be very tough to take over C. Milton Wright. Right now it looks like lane 2, and that's Israel Ornerath from Patterson Mill is in the lead. Israel qualified at 5:11.88. Corey Knopp has the all-time record established in 2004, 44.3705. So right now, Israel Ornerath lapping the field almost in lane 2. Lane 3, Tanner Russell from North Hartford, the senior who has the top seed time, right now lagging behind. Looks like in lane 4, Joseph Mosante from C. Milton Wright also swimming well. "20 laps, 500 yards. That's Ornerath, the sophomore from Patterson Mill, leading the way. Last night, C. Milton Wright, the girls who finished an undefeated regular season, picked up 345 points to easily win over Bel Air at 294, North Hartford at 282, and Patterson Mill at 259. This again was to be the down year. We talked about the New England Patriots. Folks said they were too old, they weren't going to win again. Patterson Mill this year was looked at as being, I should say, C. Milton Wright was looked at being too young, that they had graduated a lot of their seniors, and if there was going to be a down year for C. Milton Wright, this was going to be it, but not so fast. They appear to be on their way to their 11th straight combined, that's girls and boys, championship. The girls who finished third last year in their championship meet after having won 9 years in a row. This year they came back, those returning swimmers, with a new resolve and saying, hey, let's start a new streak, which they did. There you see the coaches urging their charges on. Bell lap. That's Wendell, Jonah Wendell, the junior from Patterson Mill, in lane 1. Israel Ornerath. Here he goes now, looks like lanes 1 and 2. Two Patterson Mill swimmers. It's Ornerath in lane 2 and Wendell in lane 1. assuming that Wendell is on the same lap as Orneroth. Orneroth wins it. The Huskies are doing well in the pool. Again, they were the odds-on favorite coming in, and they're living up to that billing. Orneroth finishes first. It looked like his teammate, Jonah Wendell, Jr. from Patterson Mill, finished second. You know, Patterson Mill, like Havre de Grace and Joppatown, small schools. Now we're looking at lane one. Wendell was a lap behind, so he's finishing now in lane one. So we'll let those official results. There you see congratulated Orneroth, who congratulates his teammate. We'll get those scores for you in just a moment. Coming up after we have a chance, hopefully, to interview some of the young ladies from from C. Milton Wright, who did so well last night. We'll be seeing the boys 200-yard freestyle relay. We'll also give you the official results from this 500-yard freestyle. We'll take a break. We'll come back and hopefully have those interviews with you in just a moment. Well, we're at Magnolia Middle School. Hopefully you can hear us. They're making the awards now for some of the boys' events. I have with me four of the young ladies from C. Milton Wright who helped build this unsurmountable lead that they won last night, 345 to 294 over Bel Air. I want to talk first of all to Kaylee Blair. Kaylee, you're a freshman. You come to C. Milton Wright. You know that your team last year finished third after winning 9 straight years. Did you come with a resolve to start a new streak for C. Milton Wright?
I wanted to just start a new streak for the team and continue my streak all through my senior year.
Kaylee, you won last night the 200-yard freestyle, the 400-yard freestyle relay. You were involved with that. Tell me about how you developed so quickly as a swimmer. You certainly didn't start last year.
It's all of my training and my coaches and my supportive teammates at practice.
Now, what do you do from here? You've won 2 state titles. Is the state title in the offing?
I really want to. I'm looking forward to do it in my career. I really want to do it.
Well, very good. Good luck to you the rest of the way. I now want to talk to Cassidy Hare. Cassidy, you won the 100-yard butterfly, the 100-yard freestyle, and you won the 100-yard free relay. Now, the butterfly, is it a difficult stroke?
Yeah, it is really hard. When you get to the 75, it's hard to maintain your stroke and good technique.
Now, how do you do both the freestyle and the butterfly? Do you have to concentrate on one or the other?
I concentrate on both of my training to make sure I have the stroke techniques right.
Now, you're the old person here. You're a sophomore. You're part of the team last year that didn't win. You had to come back with a big resolve.
It was hard because everyone was telling us we couldn't win. So I just kept our heads up and was we can do this. So that's how.
Talk about the spirit of your team. I watch you. You seem to like each other. You seem to root for each other.
Yeah, our team's very supportive. That's why I love high school swim. It's because of the team. But, the culture of it, I really like.
Well, very good. 3 gold medals. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not.
Very good. I'm going to turn over now and talk to Hannah Chan. Hannah, you also you won the 200-yard IM, the 100-yard breaststroke, and the 400-yard free relay. I talk about the breaststroke. It is a very difficult looking stroke. Is it hard?
Yes, I think it is hard. You just need to get the right coach to show you the right way to do it, and it's just, yeah.
Talk about the individual medley. You have to do all 4 strokes. That just seems to me to be so impossible. Is there one stroke that is more difficult for you?
For me, it's definitely fly. I was never good at fly at a young age, so really I started getting good at fly this year, so that's really improved my IM.
So you have to be good at all. You can't be great at each, but you have to be good at all.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
Now, your team, you built a big lead for your boys. Now, Patterson Mill, the odds-on favorite to win the boys, but it looks like you accumulated enough points to make sure that C. Milton Wright wins its 11th straight county title.
Yeah, I hope so. We just went out there, we had fun yesterday, we did the best we could, and we just gave the boys the best lead we could.
I was going to say, were you happy with what you did? Was there anything that you could have done more?
I am very happy with how everyone swam yesterday. We all did a great job, and I just think that's all we can do.
Well, I asked Kaylee about a state title. I don't want to put pressure on you. That certainly has to be your goal.
Yeah, it is. I really hope I make it to states and can race against some very talented people.
Well, very good. Hang with me a second, Jamie Hansen, the other freshman on this team. Everybody's a freshman and a sophomore. How do you develop so quickly into such a great swimmer?
I think it depends on like what coaches you have and like how much you practice, and so like how hard you work and everything.
We talked to Debbie King, one of your coaches, and she said practices for C. Milton Wright not always fun, very hard, very technical. Tell me about how much you've improved this year.
I feel like I have improved a lot. My event is a 50 free, and at the beginning of the year I was at 27 seconds, and I was able to get it down to 26. So I hope that I can improve more and get my time down even more.
Boy, it's like anything else. When you get that good, taking the seconds off becomes tougher.
Yeah.
How do you improve so much? Is it technique or endurance?
I feel like it's both. You need to work hard, and it just depends on like your technique and everything.
Boy, that 50-yard, it's just like over before it starts. You can't miss a beat.
Yeah, exactly. The 50 free is you just got to sprint the whole thing, and it'll be over before you know it.
Well, wonderful. Congratulations, young ladies. Great job last night. Now, I know you're rooting for your guys, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Anybody you want to say hello to?
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Love you too. Hi, Mom, Dad. Hi, Alan.
Hi, Mom, Dad. Hi, Lila, Ellie.
Well, there they are, the champions from C. Milton Wright from last night. Right now, they're hoping that their young men can do well enough to keep that championship in the hands of the Mustangs. We'll be back with more action here from Magnolia in just a moment. Back with you at Magnolia Middle School just in time to see the 200-yard freestyle relay kickoff. Again, 200 yards, that means each of the swimmers are doing 50 yards, one time up and one time back. So this goes very quickly. This is the first of the two heats. Joppatown in the near lane, Havre de Grace, Aberdeen, Elkton, and Edgewood, lanes 1 through 5. There you see the leaping. As soon as they touch the wall, then the other swimmer can leap in and dive in, obviously. And of course, the disqualification occurs if you leave too soon. We were talking to some of the C. Milton Wright folks, and they were saying the one worry they have, it looks like they have enough points if they can hold their own in the last 4 events, but a disqualification would cost them points, and that would be a way that Patterson Mill could overcome the lead that C. Milton Wright has built with the girls' events last night. Again, 4 swimmers for each team. Each one swims 50 yards, one up, one back. Joppatown, Havre de Grace, Aberdeen, Elkton, Edgewood, lanes 1 through 5 in heat number 1. Looks like Aberdeen first in the pool in lane 3. Actually, no, check it. In lane 4, it's Elkton. Elkton a brief lead, a small lead over Aberdeen in this, the first of 2 heats in the 200-yard freestyle relay. And there you have it. It looks like lane 4, Elkton, touches first. Lane 5, or lane 3, Aberdeen, touching second. Sorry that we don't have the individual names for you here. We can tell you that the Hartford Tech Cobras hold the Huckback record of 131.89, that established last year. Lane 1 finishing up, that's Joppatown. You have to give credit to the young man who knows he's out of the race, won't be able to pick up points, but he's determined to better his personal time. We talked to some of the young ladies. Hope you enjoyed those interviews we had with the C. Milton Wright swimmers. The fact that, beating your own personal best, taking seconds off your time, especially in the 50-yard race where the seconds are so precious. Now here we go. This is the faster of the 2 heats. Bel Air, Falston, Patterson Mills, C. Milton Wright, Hartford Tech, and North Hartford in lanes 1 through 5, or 1 through 6, I should say. Top qualifiers, Patterson Mill, 133.99 in lane 3. They in the lead. Again, when you're a coach, you decide, do you put your best swimmer first to get the lead, or do you put your best swimmer last in the anchor? Lane 3 is Patterson Mill. Very close between lanes 3 and lanes 4. Patterson Mill and C. Milton Wright, they the two competitors. Patterson Mill with a narrow lead here in the boys division, but it appears not enough to overtake that big lead that the girls gave them. Just a step ahead in lane 2 is Falston. Patterson Mill, C. Milton Wright, Falston, lanes 2, 3, and 4. Looks like 3 and 4, lanes 3 and 4. Patterson Mill and C. Milton Wright. Lane 3 will win. Will actually be ahead at the end of 3. Now there comes the anchor leg, as Patterson Mill has a nice lead built up. Looks like the Huskies will win this 200-yard freestyle relay. Lane 4, Patterson Mill, C. Milton Wright, lane 4. Looks like they will finish second, so 1 and 2. Patterson Mill will pick up 40 points, provided there's no disqualification. That's a big win. The relays, of course, are huge, huge wins, since they are worth 40 points, the individual race is worth only 20 points. Going to stay up with you here as we'll move on now to the next event, which is the boys 100-yard backstroke. Talked to some of the young ladies in the interview about the most difficult strokes, and some say the backstroke, very difficult, others the butterfly. The techniques are so different. Always impressed with the IM swimmers, the individual medley, those who have to swim all 4 of the strokes. Backstroke, of course, you start from inside the pool. This heat 1 has from lanes 1 through 5, Zach Strong, Zephin Madison, Ethan Zhang, Felix Young, Damian Johnson, and Jafil Bothron. From Joppatown, Haverty Grace, North Hartford, Patterson Mill, Joppatown, and Edgewood from lanes 1 through lanes 6. 100-yard, 2 times up and 2 times back. That transition, of course, so difficult and so important. Right now it looks like a very close race between lanes 3 and 4, and that's to be expected since they are the top qualifiers in this particular heat. Ethan Zhang from North Hartford, a freshman, and Felix Young, a senior from Patterson Mill. Heat 1 of 5 heats. We have just this event in the 100-yard breaststroke, and then the final 400-yard freestyle relay. So 3 events left here in the 2019 Harford County Championships. Have to put a little asterisk after it since Elkton is now involved, and at some point we're hopeful that all the Cecil County teams will be able to compete. Finishing first in this heat is Ethan Zhang, the freshman from North Hartford. That'll take us to heat 2. Nicholas Pappas, a junior from Aberdeen. Edward Honadale, a senior from Aberdeen. Lane 3 is David Gian. He's a freshman from C. Milton Wright. Paul Mullins, a freshman from C. Milton in lane 4. Griffin Havasey, a freshman from North Hartford. And another freshman from Haverty Grace, Bobby Wills. He's in lane 6. So it's Pappas, Honadale, Gian, Mullins, Havasey, and Wills, lanes 1 through 6. Finishing up in lane 1 in heat 1, Zach Strong from Joppatown. Still lane 6 to finish. And finishing as he does. Gets a hand from his competitor in lane 5. Damian Johnson congratulates Jafil Bonathron. Now they're in the pool for the second group, the second heat. Nicholas Pappas, Edward Honadell, David Gian, Paul Mullins, Griffin Havasi and Bobby Willis from lanes 1 through lane 6. And they're underway. 2 times up and 2 times back. The 100-yard backstroke. Boy, Eric, who's our audio engineer, I'm so impressed with the volunteers we've seen here, and these parents and just people who are just swim fanatics, people that have been, Phil Powers, a buddy of mine going back to my childhood days, been doing it for 20 years. His grandkids have been away from it for 10 years, and he's still coming out. So it's just amazing to see how they are dedicated to making this happen. And you need volunteers to count strokes and to make sure everybody's where they need to be. And the camaraderie that you see among the swimmers on the swim team. Not only the girls teams and the boys teams, but the girls teams rooting for the boys teams because, again, this being a combined championship, you win the boys championship, that's fine. You win the girls championship, that's fine. But you have to win by enough points to be able to absorb if the other gender doesn't win their particular meet. You have to be able to win that. Lane 2, it looks like, is finishing first, and that is Edward Honadale, senior from Aberdeen. Heat 2 finishing up. Getting set for Heat 3 of 5. Jaden Harley, Matthew Collins, Christopher Pappas, Ryan Collins, Matt Schaefer, and Matthew Doyle coming from lanes 1 through lane 6. Harley from Patterson Mill, a freshman. Bel Air's Matthew Collins, a freshman. Christopher Pappas, a junior from Aberdeen. Ryan Collins is a freshman from North Hartford. Matt Schaefer, a freshman from Falston. And Matthew Doyle, a sophomore from Bel Air, in lanes 1 through 6. Heat 2 finishing up. Magnolia Middle School, one of the 3 pools located here in Harford County. North Hartford and Edgewood Middles have the other pools. Magnolia, just a wonderful facility, a nice place for spectators to watch. Underway, Heat 3 of 5 heats. Harley, Collins, Pappas, Collins, Schaefer, and Doyle. Matthew Collins in lane 2 from Bel Air. Ryan Collins, a freshman from North Hartford, in lane 4. Looks like Pappas in lane 3. Christopher Pappas from Aberdeen has that early lead. Again, we've said it several times, where you finish is all about the time. In other words, you take the top 20 finishers, and they're the ones who have a chance to earn points. The thing that Eric and I learned tonight is that you can only qualify 2 of your finishers. So the higher you can finish, the more points you get. You get 20 for first place, 17 for second place, and down to the 20th place. And those individual points can mean so much. Lane 3 is the winner of that particular heat. That's Christopher Pappas. And now Heat 4 of the 5 heats, and again, they're stepping up in competition in terms of qualifying times. Robert Powell, who will be the top qualifier in this group, the senior from Bel Air, 103.69, his qualifying time. County record, get this now, 50.10. Mason Young having established that in 2018. Evan Mullaney in lane 1, Zach Clark in lane 2, Robert Powell in lane 3, Nathan Zerwick in lane 4, Mason Youngblood in lane 5, and Ian Sauer in lane 6. Mullaney, a senior at Falston, Clark, a freshman at Bel Air, Powell, senior at Bel Air, Zerwick, a junior at Falston, Youngblood, a sophomore at C. Milton Wright, and Sauer, a freshman at Patterson Mill. One more time up, one more time back. Here's the bell lap. Looks like Powell in lane 3. Going to be close. Looks like Powell may have touched just ahead of Zerwick in lane 4. Just have the results of the boys 200-yard freestyle relay. Patterson Mill did win it. Picked up 40 points. Jack Leary, Sean Lipscomb, Isra Ornerath, and Alan Nguyen, the swimmers. C. Milton Wright finished second. They picked up 34 points, so that's a 6-point pickup for Patterson Mill. Patterson Mill now with 265 to C. Milton Wright's 226. Eric, there's your math assignment. 265 to 226. How many points? They need 86. Well, right now, let's look at the gun lap here, or the Heat 5. Storm Fuller in lane 1. Eugene Dunca in lane 2. Mason Young, the top seed, in lane 3. Noah Harley in lane 4. Nathan Garcia in lane 5. And Jaden Slotnick in lane 6. Mason Young, the junior out of Hartford Tech. Looks like right now, lane 2, Eugene Dunca. Actually, no, it is lane 3. It's Mason Young, who's doing very well at this point, the Hartford Tech junior. His time of 54.29, top seed. Top seed by about 3 seconds over lane 4, Noah Harley. And you can see how Mason Young, great race by Mason Young, the junior from Hartford Tech. Don't know whether he was equaling that 54.29 qualifying time or not. The Cobra, Mason Young. So we told you about that boys 200-yard freestyle relay. Jack Leary, Sean Lipscomb, Azera Oneroth, and Alan Nguyen picking up the 40 points for Patterson Mill. C. Milton Wright with 34. So right now it is Patterson Mill 265, C. Milton Wright 226. That's 39 points by my calculations. They need 86. Do the Patterson Mill swimmers. That means they need to pick up 47 points in the last couple of events, and I'm not sure that's possible. Right now you're seeing the boys 100-yard breaststroke. 6 heats in this particular event. Michael Malaya, Sam DeVoe, and Lucas Brim, lanes 2, 3, and 4. All freshmen. Haverty Grace's Malaya, DeVoe from Haverty Grace, and Joppa Town's Lucas Brim. Eric, it just looks difficult, the breaststroke. Butterfly looks so artistic. The breaststroke just looks like it's hard. You're putting your face in the water. You're trying to breathe on each time you come up. Sam DeVoe, the freshman from Haverty Grace, looks like he's got a small lead over his teammate Michael Malaya. Michael's the closer to you. 136.81, 140.92 their qualifying times. Looks like they do finish 1-2. Joppa Town's Lucas Brim. So that's heat 1 of the 6 heats, and now coming up to heat 2. Connor Howells, Colin Moses, Ryan Frist, Jeff Seppa, David Richardson, and David Pugh, lanes 1 through 6. Howells is from Haverty Grace, a sophomore. Colin Moses, a freshman from Aberdeen. Ryan Frist, a sophomore from Aberdeen. Jeff Seppa, a freshman from Hartford Tech. Freshman from North Hartford, David Richardson, and freshman from Elkton, David Pugh. Again, heat 2 of 6 heats. The 100-yard boys breaststroke. 11 events. We thank the folks here at Magnolia Middle School and all the coaches for helping us put this together. Also the folks from Hartford Cable Network. Very difficult. This isn't an easy job setting up in a very humid condition. Cameramen, all the folks who make this possible. Eric, you believe that this is our 25th year on TV for the Hartford Cable Network? I was old when we started. What's that do? That just makes me older now. The winner of this heat, it is Hartford Tech's Jeff Seppa. Jeff being congratulated by his competitors. The other thing you notice about swimmers is that they realize how hard it is, and so they tend to support each other. Heat 2 of 6 heats here in the boys 100-yard breaststroke. Heat 3 will have Evan Kuzumchak, freshman from North Hartford. Will Cassidy, a sophomore from North Hartford. Tim Dzidik, sophomore from Bel Air. Nick Danielzik, senior from North Hartford. Alex Curry, a sophomore from C. Milton Wright. And Thomas Gorsuch, a junior from Falston. And they're off. Kusinchak in lane 1, Cassidy in lane 2, Zidzik in lane 3, Danielzik in lane 4, Curry in 5, and Gorsuch in 6. Will Cassidy in lane 2. Tim Zidzik. It's spelled D-Z-I-E-D-Z-I-C. I'm pronouncing it Zidzak. And if that's wrong, Tim, I apologize. Will Cassidy, we should mention that Dennis Cassidy, our ace graphics man tonight, cameraman, director, Hartford Cable Network mainstay. That's his dad. But Will's his son. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. He's in lane 2. This is the third of 6 heats in the 100-yard breaststroke. Looks like Nick Danielzik, spelled D-A-N-I-E-L-C-Z-Y-K, may have picked up the win in this particular heat. Again, I emphasize many times that you're talking about times, and those times will be recorded and matched against all the other heats. This will bring up now heat 4 of 6. Looks like we're good look at Will Cassidy. And Evan Kuzumchuk. Okay, we've completed now 3 of the 6 heats. We're going to heat 4. Liam Pettis is in lane 1, senior from Aberdeen. Reese Berry, a sophomore from Elkton, lane 2. Ryan Miller, lane 3, sophomore, Hartford Tech. Chance Bresna is in lane 4, sophomore from Haverty Grace. Samuel Shepling, sophomore from Patterson Mill. And Cameron Niles is a junior from Edgewood, lanes 1 through 6. Top qualifier Nolan Clancy from Elkton, a senior, 104.86 is his time. You'll see him in the lane in the heat 6. County record Kyle Paxton, 101.21, established in 2012. Havre de Grace's Chance Bresna looks like in lane 4 has a lead halfway through. Lanes 4 and 5, Bresna and Shepling battling. Looks like lane 4 may have touched first. That's Chance Bresna, sophomore from Havre de Grace. Congratulating Samuel Shepling in lane 5. Now we come to heat 5 of the 6. Jack Olson, the sophomore from Patterson Mill. Andrew Dubois, senior from Aberdeen, lane 2. Milton Wright senior Travis Ruse. He's in lane 3. Jack Thays, lane 4, junior from Falston. Luke Foley, a junior from Milton Wright. And Nathaniel Rizik, H-R-I-C-Z, senior from Bel Air. Ruse with a 1:12.90, the top qualifier among this particular group of swimmers. The 100-yard breaststroke. 2 times up and 2 times back. Very close race between lanes 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, actually. One more time up and one more time back. Lanes 2, it looks like. Andrew Dubois, Andrew. Looks like he may have touched first. Travis Ruse, lane 3. Right now it looks like Dubois had a qualifying time of 1:14.21. Very close between lanes 2 and 3. Travis Ruse. A few yards to go. Lane 2 looks like he's going to take it. And does. That's Andrew Dubois. Lane 3, Travis Ruse may have been second, but again, we emphasize it is the time and not necessarily the place. Andrew Dubois, senior from Aberdeen. Now we come to the fastest of the qualifiers. Lane 1, the junior from Patterson Mill, is Molarat Ornroth. Calvin Greer's in lane 2 from Falston. Nolan Clancy, the top seed from Elkton. He's a senior. Noah Machick is in freshman from Patterson Mill, lane 4. Jake Harrison, lane 5 from Bel Air, sophomore. And Alex Trin, lane 6 from Bel Air. Clancy, the top seed from Elkton, looks like he does have a little bit of a lead. His qualifying time, 1:04.86. He's got a lead now as we head for the gun lap or bell lap. Nolan Clancy, senior from Elkton. Calvin Greer's in lane 2 from Falston. Looks like 3 and 2. And in lane 1, that's Orneroth. And that's important if he does finish third, depending on the timing. It looks like the unofficial winner, Nolan Clancy, in our penultimate event, our next to last event here tonight. Have the scores for you from the boys 200-yard freestyle relay. Again, that was won by Patterson Mill. Huskies with 265 to Milton Wright's 226. Boston is third at 179, so it looks like it is a 2-team race with Patterson Mill just about assured of the victory in the boys division, but it appears they're not going to have enough points to overtake the lead that the Milton Wright girls established last night in the 2-night championships. Brings us to our final race. It is the 400-yard freestyle relay, perhaps one of the most exciting events. 100 yards per racer. We have 2 heats in this particular event, and we'll cover both of them for you. Joppatown, Edgewood, Falston, Elkton, and Havre de Grace in lanes 1 through 5. And again, the slower qualifying of the two groups. Top qualifying time, 3:24.64. That's by Patterson Mill. Record established in 2018. Hartford record in 2007. That was by Falston. Thank you. Young lady bringing us the scores. The boys 100-yard breaststroke, Nolan Clancy from Elkton, the winner at 105.04. He picks up 20 points for his team. Calvin Greer, for junior from Falston, 106.88, picks up 17 points for his team. And Mo Rakat Onarath from Patterson Mill, 108.06, picks up 16 points in third place. Our last event of the night, and again, it has been an exciting night as always. Happy to be able to be on the air here on our 25th season covering sports on the Hartford Cable Network. And there you see some of the great crowd. Eric, I'm a little more comfortable here. It's a lot cooler. It is very humid. Didn't catch that sign. Looks like somebody was rooting. Then everybody waving to their hello. Don't recognize anyone. Yeah, it's a great event here at Magnolia. It's a wonderful facility. Credit people like Al Seski, the late great Al Seski, who began swimming in this county, and largely his influence to build 3 swimming pools in the middle schools at Edgewood, at Magnolia, and at North Hartford. Very fortunate. One of the problems Cecil County has is that none of their schools have swimming pools. And so they have to do their practicing at the YMCA and places of that nature. Here, you've got the 10 high schools, the public high schools in Hartford County, and they all have a turn at these 3 pools, either at North Hartford, Edgewood, or Joppatown, being Magnolia, depending on exactly your location. Sometimes the practices, Eric, are at like 5 in the morning. I'm still asleep at 5 in the morning. Thank you. 7 o'clock in the morning, now that I'm retired, maybe I'm up. So you have to have a lot of respect for these young people, the amount of effort and that they put into it. And again, the camaraderie between these teammates, it's a fun thing to watch. Well, here we go now. This is the 400-yard freestyle relay. According to my math, that's 16 laps. Joppatown, Edgewood, Falston, Elkton, and Havre de Grace, lanes 1 through 5. Can't tell you the individual swimmers here. I don't have their names. I wish I could do that for you, but suffice it to say, Joppatown is in lane 1, Edgewood in lane 2, Falston in lane 3, Elkton 4, and Havre de Grace 5. Again, my math tells me that each of the swimmers do 4 laps. Eric confirms that. Thank you, Eric. 2 times up and 2 times back. It's a full-out sprint if you think about it. You know, people have compared it to like the 220 in track. I mean, the 50, you're just flat out, sprint. Here you're doing 200 rather than, actually you're doing 100 rather than the 50. So it's 2 times up and 2 times back. Getting ready now for the third leg. And you have to wait until your relay partner touches the wall and then you leap in. And the disqualification is always you're trying to get that extra little second of burst, and you sometimes jump in the pool just a moment too soon. Here's the bell lap for this particular group. Does look like lane 3, Falston. Here comes the anchor. I don't know why they call it an anchor, because an anchor normally slows you down. They put in the boat stops. Why do they call the last swimmer an anchor? I don't know. It's a mystery. We don't have the answer, except an anchor. I don't know. It looks like lane 3 is really coming on. That's Falston. It says Falston now. I'm not sure that that's the Falston cap that I'm seeing. Yep, that's a cougar paw, but you normally think of Falston as the brown and orange. So Falston will win the heat. Of course, competing for 40 points, that's what you get for winning the relay. – 100-yard breaststroke won by Nolan Clancy from Elkton. Again, the latest scores we have: Patterson Mill with 317 points. C. Milton Wright with 267. That means that they picked up 50 points as Patterson Mill, but they needed 86. Now you get 40 points for winning the relay. Theoretically, if you're Patterson Mill, if you're C. Milton Wright, the one thing you don't want to do is to DQ. If Patterson Mill were to win the relay and C. Milton Wright DQs without getting any points at all, that would mean a 40-point pickup. Which would be 4 points more than enough to make Patterson Mill the overall winner. Likely will that happen? No, but the possibility is there, and you know that has to be going through the minds of the C. Milton Wright swimmers. Well, C. Milton Wright and Patterson Mill located right next to each other here in this final heat of the night. Heat 2, Patterson Mill in lane 3, C. Milton Wright in lane 4. Patterson Mill, the top qualifier, 3:24.64. C. Milton Wright, 3:31.45. Noah Harley, Jack Leary, Sarah Oleron, and Alan Newen. I can tell you those swimmers for Patterson Mill talking to their coach before the match. And you can see how close it is. In lane 3, Patterson Mill, that's Noah Harley. Lane 4 is C. Milton Wright. Apologize, I don't know the name of the C. Milton Wright swimmer. Just a little bit of an advantage for Patterson Mill as they turn for the final lap of the first leg. Eric, they are neck and neck. There's the leap in the pool for Patterson Mill. Jack Leary has about a body length, maybe a half body length lead over C. Milton Wright. You get 40 points for winning, 34 points for being in second place. Again, as long as you don't DQ. So you know that C. Milton Wright, the coaches have told their swimmers, take an extra half beat if you must. Just don't dive in the pool too soon and get disqualified. Patterson Mill with a healthy lead. And you think about Patterson Mill, this is the smallest or one of the smallest schools in the county. And they are doing a heck of a job here in the boys division. Patterson Mill looks like, unless they have a real problem, they're going to win this final event of the 2019 Boys Swim Championships and go away with the boys title. Isra Onorath, the number 3 swimmer for Patterson Mill. Alan Newen is the anchor leg, coming up here in just a moment. Their qualifying time, 3:24.64. Hartford record at 3:23.67, established by Falston back in 2007. That could be in danger. This is Newen. Bringing it home. Here's the last lap coming up. One time up and one time back. That swimmer in lane 2, of course, has been lapped. Here's the turn. Bringing it home is Alan Newen. You can hear the crowd urging him on. Final few yards, and there he is, touching. We don't know his time. We will know it for you, though, before we're done. Harley, Leary, Olivath, and Newen. Big battle there for 4th. It does look like C. Milton Wright may have taken 2nd place to get 34 points. Just outdistancing Bel Air. That's going to be very close. And of course, that's worth points. You get 34 for winning 2nd and 32 for winning 3rd. Here you see Alan Newen. Young man who was the anchor leg swimmer. You can see he is applauding the swimmer in lane 2. That's the Hartford Tech swimmer. And one of the great things you like about swimmers, they have such camaraderie, not only for their own teammates, but for other swimmers, because they know how difficult this thing is. It looks like fun, yeah, it is, but in competition, it is very, very difficult, you know, to pull off wins and to take seconds off your time. I'll ask Eric, do we want to stay here, Eric, and for the final scores, or come back and wrap it up? Here you see the Magnolia Middle School. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll have the final scores for you and hopefully have a chance to interview the coaches of the winning teams. Don't you go away. We're coming from Magnolia Middle School, the 2019 Boys Championships of the Hartford County Swimming Meet. We'll be right back. Well, we're back with you at Magnolia Middle School. A bit quieter here after the excitement of this 2019 Boys Swim Championships. And I'm surrounded by the coaches from the Patterson Mill Huskies, a happy group of coaches. I'll introduce them to you. Mary Woomer to my far right. We also have Jacqueline Colapetro to my right. And we have Lisa Auckland to my far left, and Dan Colapetro. Dan, let's start with you. Last year you finished 2nd. Yeah. This year you're 1st. Your boys championship, the first in the history of Patterson Mill. How's it feel?
It feels great. The boys worked really hard this year. We had some strong freshmen coming in and some great senior leadership from the boys, and they were really tight this year, and they were swimming for each other, which was evident with the relay teams.
Lisa, you're a small school. You have a limited number of students. How do you produce such a great team?
I think I can attribute that to Coach Dan, Coach Mary, and Coach Jacqueline. They're the best on this team, for sure. I'm just part of the dryland training. You know, I help out with the team. They're a great bunch of kids. I love them.
They tell me you're the best cheerleader they have.
Yes, one of those as well.
Very good. I'll turn over and talk to Jacqueline Colapito. Jacqueline, this team tonight, I think they were favored to win, but sometimes when you're the favorite team, it becomes more difficult. They seem to fulfill all the promise.
Definitely. They definitely rise to that pressure. We told them, look, guys, like, this is going to be a big meet for you. We just want you to, swim your best, have fun. This is counties. Enjoy it. You're swimming for each other. Remember, we're all Huskies. This is our team. So
Wonderful.
they swam.
You have this trophy right in front of you. How does that look? How's it feel?
Oh, it's beautiful. We're ready to put it in the school.
Wonderful. Mary Woomer, your team had to make up 85 points tonight to be able to win the overall championship. C. Milton Wright wins it overall again. They're 11th in a row. We talk about dynasties. C. Milton Wright, that's amazing to win that many years in a row.
It's completely amazing. They have so much talent and so much heart, and they make us a better team by swimming them. And I'm so proud of my boys. And we never really look at the score. We're here to have fun. We're here to swim. We swim. We're good at it. So we're here to swim, and we did it, and we're very proud of them.
I look at your team, and like we said, there's a bunch of young people on that team. So is there a dynasty being developed at Patterson Mill?
If there's a dynasty, it's going to be a dynasty of enjoying the sport, supporting every single swimmer out there for all the teams, and winning when we can win. That's what the dynasty will be.
Wonderful. Now the region championships and maybe the states?
That's what.
Oh, we're going. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready for that part of the dynasty.
Coaches, congratulations so much. I know you're going to enjoy it with your swimmers. Folks, tonight it was a great meet. Patterson Mill with 357 points for the boys, defeating C. Milton Wright, who finished second at 301. Overall, it was 646 for C. Milton and 616 for Patterson Mill, counting the scores from last night. Hope you enjoyed it. The 2019 Boys Swim Championships from Magnolia Middle School. I'm Don Morrison. Good night, everyone.